Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they love, create actual amazing relationships. Jade Warshaw, newly minted Ramsey personality, is my co-host today. Already vastly popular, especially if you read stuff like on the internet and things. So everybody loves Jade already. The phone number here we'll be talking to you. Merry Christmas, America, is 888-825-5225. Autumn is going to start off this hour, St. Louis, Missouri. Hi, Autumn. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you, Dave? Hi, Jade.
What's going on?
Well, I am sick and tired of being broken normal, and I have got all kinds of scenarios running through my head I'm hoping you guys can bring some clarity on.
Let's do it.
All right. So my husband and I started our debt-free journey on November 4th. We were $150,000 in debt overall. We have been kicking butt, taking names, so we're about $7,100 down, including a $1,000 emergency fund and a $1,500 cash flow Christmas.
There you go.
But it leaves us with $144,000, and half of that is a commercial loan that we took out for a honey farm. So here's the kicker. I'm good, putting it in order, doing the debt snowball, but I feel like I'm on a deadline. So we've got our commercial loan that's going to balloon on us on June of 2024. So my husband wants to move the $72,000 above the other. That $144,000 includes our mortgage. So he wants to move it above.
How much is your mortgage balance?
$51,000.
Okay, that's not in the equation. That's baby step 6.
Okay, so we've got $9,000 medical and $12,000 on a side-by-side, which we use for the business.
Okay. And what's your household income?
About $110,000 to $115,000 on average.
Okay, let's see. So you got $90,000, and so we need to do $45,000 a year for 2 years, right? Right. And you're done before the balloon.
Well, here's the other kicker. This is the other scenario, and this is where I'm hoping for the clarity. So I have worked for my job for about 19 and a half years. This June will make 20, and it's been wonderful. I will stick with it as long as I can, but it's a small business, and they could use Dave. So it is in danger, and I also homeschool my daughter, so I work from home. So there's potentially coming up a lull in my income, which is more than half of what I've said. So,
what do you do?
Jill of all trades, girlfriend. I mean, they own a bunch of commercial properties, so anything and everything that needs to be done, from marketing to accounting to everything.
Well, I am not going to make my decisions based on something that might happen. They've been running this business on a shoestring for years. They're probably going to continue to run it on a shoestring. Unless you know something from doing the books that's inside of there that's recently more sick than other things you've seen in the past. I don't think that changes anything. Because here's the thing: if you lose that job, you got to go get another one anyway.
Right. If you feel like you're insecure in that job, there's nothing that stops you today from starting to look for something new. So I don't think you have to plan for a lull in income. I think there's only going to be a lull in income if you see something coming and you do nothing until it actually happens. I think right now, if you feel like you're insecure, you can start looking. But I'm with Dave. I think that when it comes to this debt, we need to work the debt snowball as usual. Of course, the $51,000, that's your mortgage. We can kind of hold off on that side of it. But it sounds like all of this debt is kind of, it doesn't sound like it's separated business and personal. It sounds like you're on the hook for all of it.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a business loan in this setting.
Right.
You signed personally for every bit of this debt. It's all personal debt. You just labeled it business because it had to do with the farm.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So let's roll it into
you got $70,000 in credit card debt. Let's get it paid off. And you got a balloon coming due in 24, so lay the whole thing out to be done by 24. That's was it June of 24? Just lay your game plan out and go, what have we got to pay to be done? Let's go ahead and be done by March, right? So we don't want to run right up on that balloon. But this is very doable, very doable. And the thing is, the whole process of being this intentional and this intense is brand new. And that's when you have the most tendency to try to scheme and scam your way through it rather than work your way through it. Yeah. And so quit trying to figure this out. Just do it. I mean, and do it with gusto, even more gusto than you've done to this date. Get after it. And you can sell stuff. You can do all kinds of things if you have to. But and you can work out a different job, another job. If this one starts to look more and more and more weak, like Jade said, go land you something. But let's get this done. Emily's in Santa Barbara. Hi, Emily. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
I have a question about what I should do, what me and my husband should do with our year-end bonus, because we can't go exactly in the baby steps because we already own the home. We bought it pre-Dave. But besides that, we are debt-free.
The baby steps, home is in the baby steps. It's baby step 6.
Yeah,
Pay
but
it
I
off.
meant...
You're saying you bought a house before it was time to in the baby steps.
Is it paid off?
No.
Okay, then you have the regular baby steps. Where are you in the baby steps?
So that's paid off. So with that $34K, we can put $5K to finish our emergency fund. So we'll be at 20.
So you're debt-free but the house.
Yes.
Okay, and then you finish your emergency fund. That's baby step 3.
So we'll finish the emergency fund, and then we want to put max out both of our Roth 2022. So that'd be 12. And then we're going to put $2K for each of our kids, 529s. We have 2 kids.
Good.
And then we have 15 left, so that would be $1,000 per kid. And then we have 15. So we do have a truck that we want to get up and running. So we wanted to see if that is okay. It's an older truck. It's just a hobby. It's classic old car. Or should we be throwing that at the house?
Now, once you get past baby step 3, you leave intensity and move to intentional.
Okay.
And so if this is intentional, and you say, okay, we're gonna work on the hobby truck a little bit, or we need to buy a couch, or we're gonna go on vacation, or we need to buy a new car because the one we got's a dumpy one. We got to move up a little. This is where you would do all of that, knowing that every dollar you spend there is not going towards your mortgage, so you're going to be in debt a little longer. But that's okay because it's intentional versus intensity.
Okay.
But you don't do this with the mindset of, oh, we're never going to get our mortgage paid off. No, we're going to get our mortgage paid off anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
That's really good. I think a lot of times when people start the baby steps, they get so focused on being intense that when you get past that phase, it's kind of hard to leave that mindset to the side. And it's not to say that you get lackadaisical, but you were never intended to live, under the gun for the entire, you're supposed to enjoy some of this money. So it's about being intentional about it. You and your husband have decided this is what we're going to do. This is worth the opportunity cost. And you've made that decision together. So you're doing just right.
Yep. Or it makes you look and go, I'd rather pay off my mortgage than the truck, so maybe it's time to get rid of the truck. Yep. Either one's okay, but now it's time to be intentional, not just intense. So, very good question. Merry Christmas to you, Emily. This is The Ramsey Show. Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information. Merry Christmas, America. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. We got deals out there right now, Jade, in the store. Serious stuff going on. Financial Peace University gift voucher as low as $69.99. Dr. John Deloney's best-selling book, On Your Past, Change Your Future, deeply discounted at $12.99. The new Ramsey sweatshirts and hoodies. That's kind of scary. All audio books are $5. You can get those up until the last second because they're all downloadable. And that includes the Total Money Makeover audio book, all for $5. These deals are great.
They're amazing. If you don't take advantage of this, you're missing out. That's all I'm saying.
Got some question about your Christmas spirit. That's
everybody around me, this is what they're getting. They already know. This is your gift.
Brand new products and lots of things happening for our year-end sale. A lot of these, the Question for Humans cards, still on sale for $10. A lot of books are on sale for only $10. Be sure and check it all out. The Ramsey Goal Planner for 2023 is only $35.99. That's the lowest price it's ever been, and it is a fabulous use for your goals for next year. The year-end sale ends at $11.59 today. Yeah, don't be dragging around here. Shop these great deals right now. RamseySolutions.com/store. Scott's with us. Scott is in Phoenix. Hi, Scott. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. How can we help?
So I don't do the baby steps. I've just been listening to you, and I'm debt-free. I just have a mortgage. And my question is that I just came into some money, which is about $30,000, and I want to invest it in retirement because I'm hitting 53 and I really don't have any retirement. I have been paying into my 401k. Every time I get a raise at work, I've been upping my 401. So for 4 years, I'm at right now at $400 a month going into my 401.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd like to take that $30,000 and put it into something that would grow quickly and, that I would feel confident about. I don't want to spend it. I don't want to, just go out and blow it. I'm really starting to, hit that age. I'm like, I really do need to think about retirement.
You married?
Yes, I am married. My wife has her retirement through her work, so she's been working on that she's been at the job for about 15 years, so she's got her retirement established.
Okay, jump online at RamseySolutions.com and find a SmartVestor Pro in your area. Open a Roth for this year and a Roth for next year, and do one for your wife as well. So that's $28,000.
Okay.
And put it all in good growth stock mutual funds across 4 types: growth and income, aggressive growth, and international.
Now, can I add to that,
the following year?
I still have extra money.
The following year, after 24, after 23, okay. You can in 24. Because I just funded 23 and 24 just then.
Okay. Because I want to be able to, because I have extra money left over since I'm not in debt anymore. I want you to
throw that towards your mortgage.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to get 15% of your household income going into retirement. Throw everything else towards your mortgage. I'm assuming you have an emergency fund, and you already said you were debt free, but the mortgage, right?
Yes, I got $40,000 in my emergency fund because I sold a house and I just purchased this new house about 6 months ago. So we were able to sell my old house for $150,000. I put some of it into the new house, and then I just paid all our debt off, cars, everything. And then I have, as I said, I got $40,000 left in the emergency fund for anything.
Good.
So that's where, and then I've been doing $500 extra a month on the new house.
Yeah.
On top
so
of what
here's the thing: the baby steps tell us to put 15% of your household income into retirement. We just loaded up a couple of Roths. You've already got your 401 and your wife's 401 going. So I'm going to guess and say you're probably getting up to that 15% or beyond. Beyond that, anything I can find in my mortgage, I want to get this house paid off, because the 2 key things that we find that cause people to be millionaires, and it's not long from now for you, you're going to be there pretty quick, is a loaded up retirement account or retirement accounts and a paid-for mortgage.
That's right. I want to make sure, though, that you don't spend all of that money. I mean, I want to make sure that you keep some of it for 3 to 6 months of expenses. That's the one thing. I don't want him to. It sounded like once he paid off the debt, he had that 30 or 40K left, and that was kind of his nest egg. So I want to make sure that he keeps some of that for his 3 to 6 months of expenses as well.
Yeah, absolutely. If I was confused, I thought you had 40 grand plus the 30 grand. If you don't, then that's a different thing.
Yeah.
You need an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. That's baby step 3. 4 is you're going to put 15% of your income into retirement between Roth IRAs, 401k for you, 401k for your wife. Add it all up, 50.15 times your annual income, and you need to be there and no more. Everything else goes towards that mortgage. Let's get that mortgage cleared because that paid-for house and $500,000 to $1 million in your mutual funds and your 401ks and Roth IRAs is where you're going to that's where you're going to reach that $1 million net worth and beyond, of course. Jacob is in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Hi, Jacob. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thanks, Dave. I am calling because my wife and I are in baby step 3, and we just found out that her van needs a new transmission, and the cost for the repairs is going to drain what we have currently in our emergency fund. So I say go ahead and do it. That's what the emergency fund's for. Let's get the van fixed. And my wife.
How much is it going to cost to fix the van?
So it's going to be $4,500, including labor.
And that's your whole 3 to 6 months of emergencies fund?
No, we're in baby step 3.
Okay, so you haven't completed it yet. Okay, I see.
Yeah, we have $4,000 so far, so it would be a $3,000 deposit, and then we could get the other $500. The other $500 to fix it.
What year is this van?
The repair is complete.
What year is the van?
It's 2005.
What's it worth?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked because we haven't been looking to sell or anything, but it's a Honda Odyssey with only like 160,000 miles on it.
Okay. The first thing I'm always going to do with transmissions and engines is this is like the car has cancer. You don't go with one. You get multiple opinions. You need a second opinion and a third opinion. Not necessarily does the transmission need to be replaced, but is there a more economical way to get this transmission replaced? Who gave you this bid? The dealer?
No, it's a local mechanic.
That's good.
That we've been going to for a couple of years.
Okay.
We trust him.
I trust him too. It sounds fine.
Give us
it doesn't sound outlandish, but it is a big enough expense. I want you to get some other opinions. And I'm guessing you have 2 cars, right? And this is one of them?
Yeah, so we have that, her van, and then I have a 1998 Honda Accord with like 205,000 miles on it.
What's your household income?
So she's thinking, I have like a base of 60, and then I get bonus on top of that. So
a base of
60
what?
And 80, and then 60,000.
Oh, 60. I thought you said 16.
I did too.
Okay, I feel better already.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so yeah, you fix the van. That's what the emergency fund's for.
Okay, that's what I figured.
But I am going to get a couple of bids, not just the one mechanic that I trust. And it may lead you right back to him, and I kind of think it's going to, and that's okay. But you just want to. In the multitude of counsel, there is safety. The Bible says, where there are options, lots of options, you will choose a better choice than when you have only one option or only 2 options. So I'm going to go talk to 2 or 3 other people, figure out is there a more economical, reasonable way that is reliable to get this transmission replaced. I doubt it. I don't think that's a bad price off the top of my head, but hey man, you might find somebody do it for $3,500 and it'd be worth looking.
I'm also wondering what that van was worth.
It's Honda Odyssey. They're
05?
a wee bit pricey, so I don't know.
Almost
I have no
200,000 miles?
Yeah, something to look at. Something to look at for sure. Is it worth fixing? Probably, though. It probably is. This is The Ramsey Show.
Still on baby step number 1, eh?
How'd you guess?
With healthcare costs rising, learn how Christian Healthcare Ministries can help you make the most out of your budget. Visit chministries.org/budget.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
Merry Christmas, America. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. We're glad you're with us. The phone number here for your life and your money questions is 888-825-5225. Sean is in Baltimore. Hey, Sean, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, how are you guys?
Great. How can we help?
So I'll try and keep this brief. I have a unique situation. My wife and I lost a baby at 22 weeks back in April and had to use some of my wife's unpaid FMLA because she's a teacher. She just gave birth early at 27 weeks at the 5th of this month and only has the remaining 8 weeks of FMLA to use. Our daughter is in the NICU until the end of January, and my wife will have to put in for a leave of absence to spend time with our baby. Should we stop investing until she begins getting paid again, even though we have our fully funded emergency fund?
I'm sorry to hear about the loss of that first baby. That's really tough, but I'm also celebrating with you on this new birth, which is definitely something to celebrate. How long of a leave of absence is she planning to take?
About 7 weeks.
What do you make?
I net about $3,000 a month.
Yes, you should stop investing.
Okay.
You're in the middle of a storm, and so you got to batten up the hatches as a temporary measure.
That's right. The same way we would suggest that if you were about to have a baby, that you would kind of pause the baby steps and stack up extra cash. This is kind of the same idea, but it's kind of on the back end. Yeah,
you're on baby step 4, so it is a little different. But yeah, you need the margin right now because you've had an unbelievably emotional year. From miscarriage to NICU you've had. And all having to do with babies, which keeps your stomach in your throat all the time, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So you guys need the mathematical margin to pay attention to the child and to pay attention to where you both are emotionally in the middle of this trauma, so that you process it and you hold hands and you're looking at each other's eyes and you hang on to each other. Your investment portfolio does not matter a flip for the next 6 months.
That's right.
Okay, thank you so much.
Humans are what matter right now. Little ones, big ones, both. Okay? So just lean in, be a good dad, be a good mom, be a good husband, be a good wife. We got one job, and that is walking the rest of the way through these storms that you've been through. They're two different kinds of storms, and but NICU is a storm too, in and of itself, right?
Absolutely.
Every time I go to NICU with a friend or a family and walking down there, it takes my breath away. Does it still yours as a dad?
Yeah, we've been going there for 2 weeks now. We've still got about another month to keep going back and forth.
Still hard to breathe when you walk in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we had a team member that had one in there 14 months. We've got, and by the way, that kid's doing great now. So there is a good end to these stories, and the family's quote unquote back to normal, back to working, back to investing, back to living life, and so on. And another friend as well. That I guess we were down there for 7 or 8 months, in and out of there, and it's a process, and so it's a period of your life that is out of control. So you've got to control what you can control, and yeah, you need the margin. You need the margin. Give yourself permission to do nothing well right now.
That's so good.
Yeah, and now do not get into rationalization spending, where we've got to have this item and we're going to go $40,000 in debt. No. Don't go back into there. But do protect the household with the cash that you can for right now.
I love that simplification. Make everything a simpler process. And like you said, make sure that your focus is on really what matters, which is your family.
Well, when you're in the middle of some kind of storm, crisis, trauma, whatever you want to call it, your vision immediately, you lose your peripheral vision and you just get to focus on the one thing to survive.
Oh, absolutely.
Your brain does that for you, and you need to do that with the math as well. So, and that's healthy. That's good. That's smart. Trent is in Phoenix. Hey, Trent, what's up?
Hey, guys, long-time listener, first-time caller, so thank you for what you do, Dave. I appreciate you.
Well, thank you. Merry Christmas. How can we help?
Yes, sir. So I'm debt-free. I have a kind of a side hustle for years. I've bought things and kind of resold them, but recently I started getting into buying storage units and then turning and selling them. And my concern, though, is it's kind of taken off, and I'm kind of on a trajectory to, kind of be in the ballpark of 30 to 40,000 in profit. And what I don't want to do is tie that in with my personal finances. And I guess the bigger question is, how do I avoid, tax issues? Should I do an LLC? I just honestly don't know where to go.
Well, congratulations on your side hustle. That's pretty great. I mean, when it comes to a side hustle, and I kind of speak to this from my own perspective, my husband and I had a small business and still do. It really, when you're starting with a business, whether you're sole proprietor or, you do decide to do an LLC, even with an LLC, and I mean, you can select this, but most of the profit and losses is passing through to your personal account anyway. So there's still, does that make sense? The only thing in my mind that might make you go towards an LLC would be the liability side of it. And making sure that you're covered, and that if something were to happen and somebody sued you, they can't go after your personal assets. Yeah. So in that way, you might look at an LLC or an S corp or something like that.
Yeah, I would probably look at an LLC in that case, but I would not. The LLC does not give any tax benefit. There is no place to hide the taxes.
Yeah, you got to be.
Right.
Everybody's got to pay.
Rich people don't pay any taxes. Horse crap. Yes, they do too.
The more you make, the more you're going to pay.
They pay more than you used to make. But yeah, so absolutely you pay taxes. An LLC, a sub S, a sole proprietor, all have 100% pass through to your personal return. There is no avoiding squat. Now, in any business, in any of those structures, any expense you have is a valid expense, reduces your income by that much. Or if you have an item you purchase that's depreciated, and you depreciate it over a 1, 3, 5, 15, 30-year schedule, whatever it is, then you're going to get that savings as well. But there is no thing of, the way you do it is you do a double backflip family trust LLC through Nevada. No, that's a bunch of crap on some infomercial. It does not work.
He could probably get with a local provider, though, endorse local provider, and find an accountant to kind of help him open it up or walk through that.
Exactly. But Jade is exactly right, Trent. When I started doing LLCs or sub-S's was when it was for risk management. You need business insurance for liability in general. And if somebody gets hurt with one of those containers or something like that. And then the second thing is, if your personal assets are big enough, or if the business has the appearance of being big enough that it starts to have a target on it with these idiots that sue everybody left and right for nothing. I got a hangnail, so I'm going to sue you for $2 million. Well, now you need the business separated off from your personal stuff, so it shrinks the size of the target that way, and you would open an LLC for that. But you do have an extra tax return when you do the LLC. You've got extra paperwork. You have to run every single thing regarding the business in the name of the LLC.
That's right.
Otherwise, it's invalid. It will pierce the corporate veil if you don't. And so you can't go fooling around, do some stuff in Trent's name, some stuff in the LLC's name. It doesn't do any good then. So
that's right.
Get like she said, get with one of the tax providers, one of the ELPs, and they can help you with that process. I think that's it's kind of like there's so much mythology around wealth, and taxes is one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody inherits their money that's wealthy. That's absolute BS.
Oh, we know that's not true.
We know that statistically, right? And rich people don't pay any taxes.
The more money you make, the more taxes you're paying.
It's pretty simple. If you're turning money into cash every year, that is taxable income. There's very, very few things that are otherwise.
One of the joys of earning more.
She says sarcastically, "This is the Ramsey Show." Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. So this article...
Oh, man. Dave, when I saw this article, I said, okay, I got to show this to Dave. I read it. It says nearly half of young adults in the U.S. are living at home with their parents. And all that saved money on rent is fueling a luxury boom. It says a record number of young adults in the U.S. are currently living at home, and all that saved money is sparking a luxury boom. That's unbelievable to me, because if you read down in the article, it says 48% of these young adults are living with their parents. This is in 2022. So this is not like from 2020, right? We know that people kind of hold up together because of the pandemic in 2020, but it's still taking place. And it says that it's because they have all of this extra money, and instead of paying off, I don't know, their debt.
This is a historical high since the Great Depression.
Yeah, these numbers have not been seen since the Great Depression.
48%. So let me get this straight. You live in your mama's basement, but you got a Coach purse.
You got a Coach purse. And these companies that are, they make Tiffany and Dior and Hennessy and all these luxury brands, they saw a 20% spike above, and they're attributing it to
baby children.
From baby children. And at first, Dave, I'll be honest, when I first read this, my my anger and my frustration was at the young adult. But then I thought about it. I thought about it more, and I said, no.
This is a helicopter mama got out of control. Helicopter daddy got out of control.
Helicopter mom. This is also, it's a result in my mind.
I can just hear the prop.
It's three things. It's the parenting, right? We've sent that message that basically we're going to do everything for you.
This is not parenting. This is coddling.
We've coddled the confidence right out of these people.
Woo!
We've coddled it right out.
That's tweetable.
Think about it. When you've got parents who say, I don't trust that you can do this. I don't trust that you can make it out there on your own. I don't trust that you can use your God-given intellect and skill to earn money and pay rent. Why don't you come back and live here? And oh, by the way, when you live here, we'll cook your meals, we'll pay your rent. If you need a little gas for money, we'll give you that too. Then, Dave, you've got the government saying, hey, you can't pay for your student loans. We'll do it for you. And then you've got this mixture of then now social culture telling you everything you say is right, everything you think is right, you can do no wrong. Now tell me, Dave, how does that create an adult who can go in and function in society?
What this is creating is, for the particular young people that are falling prey for it, is what's known as a train wreck.
It's a train wreck.
You described a train wreck, because here's what's going to happen. You cannot avoid life.
You can't.
It's coming for your butt.
Well, that's what's happened.
And mama can't protect you, and Biden can't protect you.
Nope.
And your opinion doesn't matter until you've got actual experience to base that opinion on.
That's right. But the world has told you that everything you think is right.
I really don't care what your opinion is.
I know that's right. And they're getting out into the world and they're going, wait a minute, this is different.
Well, the problem is when they do get in the world, and they will.
They will.
They're going to run into reality, which reality says you are not an expert on something just because you breathe air. Your opinion is not valid.
That's right.
Unless it is based on some kind of facts.
Facts.
that were based on not feelings.
That's right.
But you've been told that your feelings are all valid, and they are valid feelings.
Yeah.
But anybody that leads their life by feelings is known as a child. Adults devise a plan and follow it. Children do what feels good.
I know that's
so
right.
Here's who we need to rant at, and you're exactly right. Rachel Cruz said this 10 years ago or 15 years ago the first time. We don't have a student loan crisis. We have a parenting crisis.
It's parenting. And I say it all the time. You can't absorb everything for your kids. Now, I've got young kids, Dave. I got 2-year-old and 4-year-old.
You send them to the salt mines every morning.
No.
Go to work.
Let me tell you.
You 2-year-old, go to work.
You got to let them feel it. You got to let them feel it.
Pick up your toys.
It's very easy to want to step in and not let them fail, not let them feel disappointment, not let them feel hurt. You got to let them feel it.
Here's the problem. When you're a parent that you think you are doing your child a favor by making it easy for them, you're actually making it harder for them because you're stupid.
Well, you're sending
so
a message.
Stupid that you think that they're not going to have to learn the lesson. They have to learn the lesson. So you're better off to learn the lesson while at home and 15 years old and feel the pain of calluses on your hand, feel the pain of actual discipline and responsibility at a reasonable level where I can protect you from it being crushing pain.
That's right.
As your dad. But I'm going to make sure that you feel the abrasion so that when you feel real abrasion later, real adversity later, you've got the freaking character to stand in the wind.
And the resilience. Because if you don't allow that, you're sending that message, I don't have confidence in you. And there's an undercurrent that the child feels that, okay, I can't do this. So then when they do get out in the world and all those things happen, they don't know how to be resilient. They don't know how to handle it because they have not had to build that level of confidence and, like you said, character. And it's just, I gave this example the other day. I was talking about my kid, and he wants to help me set the table at night. And look, he's 4 years old. He's not going to do it right. He's going to put the stuff on the edge of the table. Probably going to knock the glass off. It's going to break. All these things. And it's a great opportunity for me to step in and go, you know what? I'll just do it. I'll put it like this. I know how to do it. But if I do that, I'm telling him, I don't have confidence in you to either do it right, and I certainly don't have confidence in you to make a mistake and learn from it.
There's no dignity.
There's no dignity there.
When you are coddled.
You got to let him do it.
There is no dignity when you have no autonomy because you have absolutely no actual skills.
That's right.
And by the way, managing your social media account is not a skill. Okay, that you don't qualify for that one. Okay,
that one doesn't count.
You don't get making comments on other people's actual achievements is not a skill.
Yeah.
That's not an achievement. You didn't achieve anything when you did that.
Yeah.
And so when you live in your mother's basement and you write a blog on personal finance, the rest of the world laughs at you.
Yeah.
And your mommy thinks you're cute.
So a message to these young adults living at home, you've been enabled. We're telling you, you've been enabled. You have been coddled. You have been put in a situation that is not for your best interest.
Ooh.
Now it is time for you to do something to change that. It's time for you to get up. It's time for you to get out. The problem is not, I can't afford rent. That is a symptom. The problem is you've got debt, you're not earning enough money, and you're not doing enough to go out and change it. Mom and dad can't do this for you.
Well,
and don't blame it on the fact that folks are getting married later in life.
No, that's absolutely
because that's a whole other
crap.
thing.
No, it's not. Look, work more, go to the bar less. Was that okay?
That's it.
Because you took your beer pong skills from college, and you brought them home to your 23-year-old self, and you converted them to happy hour skills.
Yeah.
And so we live from thank God it's Friday to oh God it's Monday, and this is the recipe for freaking failure.
Yep.
So if you're a young person listening to us, we are not picking on you.
No.
We are begging you to get away from your parents. They're stupid.
They did you wrong. And parents, if you're listening, in the new year, it's time for you to serve a notice. That's the gift.
Yep.
The gift that they need to open up is a pink slip.
Yep. You got till March.
Kid.
You got till June.
Yep.
No more than June. June's max. But I mean, give them an exit ramp, give them an on ramp, give them an off ramp, whatever you want to call it. But let's lay out a game plan, coach them, help them,
yep. And that's
show them what to do. And let me just tell you, an eagle that does not leave the nest is eventually known as a turkey. They are useless. You do not want to be 38 and living in your mother's basement. By the way, young men, no woman wants to date you because you're what's known as a wuss. You are not eligible.
You are not eligible.
You look like a parasite. You do not look like a person who can carry half of a relationship.
Oh, my goodness. I wish my daughter would bring home a dude that's living in his parents' basement.
Uh-oh, Big Sam be lighting that guy up. Big Sam be on that guy.
Big Mama would be lighting that guy up.
Well, that's it. Yeah. Sam would be in the background cheering her on. That's what it was.
He would be.
All right. Hey, seriously, folks, love your children well enough to cause them to grow up.
That's right.
And out. This is The Ramsey Show. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today. From the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today as we take your questions about your life and your money. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Merry Christmas to you, America. We're so glad you're here. Well, folks, I'll give you a little statistics as we wrap up this year. This will be our last live broadcast of the year as we head into Christmas season here, the last few days before Christmas and after Christmas and so forth. Trying to look up here. We did 233 live shows this year. We talked to 147 millionaires.
Woo!
That means about every 1.5 shows we talked to a millionaire. We did 358 debt-free screams that accounted for $61 million, a little over $61 million in debt paid off, just screamed about on the air. And that's on about 2,900 calls that we took this year, about 3,000 calls we took on the air. So we do 3 hours of this show live every day from 1 to 4 Central Time. It is broadcast on 680 talk radio stations. We are the second largest talk radio show in America. Sean Hannity is number 1, and we are number 2, and there's not even a close third. No one's even in the same ballpark that he's in or we're in terms of listenership or in terms of stations cleared. Actually, Sean has fewer stations than we have, but more listeners, because he's got better time slots. He's owned by iHeart, and so they put him on premium time slots in all of their stations. So, but he does a great job too. He's a friend, and we're proud for him. Everything is good, and he just does a really good job. So that's the talk radio side, and then there's the podcast side, which has now had 1 billion downloads. There are 5 shows in the world that have had 1 billion downloads.
Wow.
Joe Rogan, Dave Ramsey, the 2 largest. And so not even close. And I mean, there's almost 1 billion podcasts, probably. I don't know. There's millions of them, it feels like. But everybody with a computer in a bedroom's doing a podcast, which is fine. There's some good ones out there. They're fun to listen to. I listen to a bunch of different things. George and Rachel launched the Smart Money Happy Hour podcast, and it's really good.
It's really good.
Listened to it this morning on my walk, as a matter of fact, the one that dropped today. And so check those out. But that's just a few of the numbers of the things that are going on around here. YouTube, we've got our little button over here, over 1 million subscribers. We've had that for a long time. We're one of the top producers in all of minutes viewed in all of YouTube. And just amazing, amazing results. And all of that is you folks. Thank you.
Yep.
I mean, we're here to help you, and you've joined our humor. You've joined our caustic sarcasm. You've joined our approach to this whole process from our faith. You've joined in with us on telling everyone about the shows and the various formats. There's about 25 million of you between YouTube, podcast, and talk radio in a given week. And so thank you. And $61 million worth of debt-free screams last year. That's so fun.
Man. I'm looking at these stats, all the debt that's been paid off, all the millionaires that's called this year, 358 debt-free screams. And it reminded me of something I saw this morning. Someone posted, they had some debt, and they posted and they said, I bought this car, it was for $35,000, and my plan was to pay off $10,000 between August and December. Well, that didn't happen. I just haven't felt motivated enough to aggressively pay it off. And she said, I think I had the most success when I saw other people's debt progress, but there doesn't seem to be much of that going on these days. She's in the wrong community. She needs to get over here because we're paying off debt. We're becoming millionaires. We're changing our lives. And we are following a plan that we've seen work with millions and millions of people. She's got the wrong folks around her. She needs to come and get in this Ramsey camp.
Amen. For 30 years.
30 years.
Yeah. Need to learn to do it the Ramsey way. And it's not Dave Ramsey said. That's not what got anything to do with it. This is God's and Grandma's ways of handling money. It used to be called common sense, and now it's so rare it's like having a superpower.
Well.
So we became one of the most downloaded, watched, viewed, listened to, repeated shows in the entire freaking world.
That's right.
And all we do is tell you to live on less than you make.
Simple as that. Simple principles. Hard to do.
Dave Ramsey, you don't say anything new. I said, yeah, but I say it better and more often than you do, so it worked.
There you go.
That's all I did. There is nothing. The irony is, my preacher told me the day, he said, you say the same thing over and over again. I said, so do you. You just keep coming back to one story all the time.
That is so good. Well, the thing about it is you got to actually put it into action. You got to do it.
Yeah.
You'll hear it and you say, oh, I get it. But are you actually doing it? Are you actually putting it to work?
That's the longest journey in the world, is from the brain to the heart.
Oh, yeah.
That's 100 miles right there.
To
get it to leak from the brain down into the heart and cause you to actually go freaking do it.
It's all about your will.
Do it. That just requires something right there. That's it,
It's directing your will into the right place. We know that people talk about a lot about willpower, but we know that we have free will, and your will is simply your desire to put fixated effort into something. And when it comes to this money stuff, we sit around and wait for motivation, or we wait for somebody to say it, I don't know, the billionth more time, right? You've said this stuff a million times, Dave, but there comes a point where you have to assert your will into it. You have to assert your will. You have to say, I'm going to put all of my fixated and focused effort onto this path. And when you do that, you change.
Your husband can't do it for you.
No.
And your wife can't do it for you.
And we sure can't do it for you.
And your mama can't do it for you.
Yep.
And I can't do it for you. All we can do is give you the information.
That's right.
And the proof, the social proof.
That's right.
358 people doing debt-free screams in the calendar year 2022, live on the air on this show, paying off $61 million plus dollars of debt. You can't do it. Why?
Those people fixated their will on it, Dave. They said, I'm going to get this thing done. I'm going to change my life. I can change my life, and I'm not going to sit around and wait for anybody else. I've heard it enough times. I've heard live on less than you make. I've heard, get out of debt. Debt is dumb, cash is king. I've heard you got to do a budget. And these people finally said, enough listening. Time to start doing.
Hey, help us by subscribing, by sharing the show, and by leaving a 5-star review. Don't need any 1 stars. Your mama said if you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all. This is The Ramsey Show. If you're looking for ways to update your home without blowing the budget, I've got it. For years, I've been telling you about our friends at Blinds.com. Blinds.com makes it simple to shop top quality blinds, shades, and interior shutters from home with easy online ordering and free shipping. With Blinds.com, there's no need to renovate your entire home. Just change out what's on your windows with upscale choices like faux wood blinds, cellular and roller shades, or even outdoor shades. Plus, Blinds.com guarantees the perfect fit, whether you do it yourself or you have them measure and install everything for you. Shop their latest looks and see how much you can save at Blinds.com today. The easy and affordable way to make your home more beautiful is Blinds.com. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. 10 million folks have gone through Financial Peace University. And chances are, if you did, it's because someone in your life lit a fire under you. Your mom or dad gave it to you as a gift. Your pastor offered it at your church. A friend wouldn't shut up about it. So you finally took the class, and now everything's changed. Well, maybe it's time for you to do that for someone else. Maybe you're that mom or dad or that pastor or that friend. You can give someone you care about, Financial Peace University, share the same hope and freedom you've discovered with money. That's a cool thing to give for Christmas, hope and freedom. To buy FPU as a gift, go to RamseySolutions.com/give FPU. That's RamseySolutions.com/give FPU. Justin's with us in Portland, Oregon. Hi, Justin. Merry Christmas.
Hey, you guys too. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Hey, so my wife and I finished baby step 2 about 8 months ago, and which included roughly $48,000 in student loan debt.
Woo! Congrats.
And so we didn't have any debt, and my wife found out a couple months ago that she qualified for $20,000 in the student loan forgiveness program, and how we didn't have any debt and she qualified for that. I have no idea why that is or how that is. So she applied, and we were approved. A couple weeks ago, we got a check from the United States Treasury for $48,000.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, crap.
And I'm like, okay, well, that's a little odd. First of all, we only qualify for $20,000. So why do we have a check for $48,000?
Well, wait a minute, stop. There has been no student loan forgiveness
yet. That's right.
Well, so
what they did is they put your loan back on the books.
Yep.
That's exactly what they did. So I looked into it, and they reopened her student loan.
Yep.
And charged it the exact amount that's on this check that we received.
Yep.
They gave you a refund because your debt was already paid and you qualified for this, and maybe I don't know why they doubled it. Maybe they assumed you did too.
Well, it was the original balance.
So they put it all back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, these guys are scoundrels, man. These. So, yeah.
We went from having no debt to now having a debt of $48,250.
Well, just send the check back and tell them to close the account and don't apply for student loan forgiveness again.
Okay. That was my question. I didn't want to cash it because I didn't want to be taxed on it.
This whole thing is a trap.
It's not taxable. It's not taxable. There's no taxes on it. But what you may end up doing is you may end up having to pay some interest. Because you now have a $50,000 loan on the books again. So you need to get in touch. Well, my guess is you're going to have to cash it and then make a payment and pay the loan off again.
That's right.
Yeah, and the student loan servicer, they do not know what's going on. We've called 3 or 4 times, and we've gotten 3 or 4 different answers.
They're showing no balance?
No, they're showing the balance that the check is for. Still.
Okay, yeah. But they do know what's going on, too.
They're acting like they don't know what's going on.
They absolutely know what's going on. They know they now have a loan that they are charging interest on again. Mm-hmm. They are happy campers.
Mm-hmm. Send that money back. Go today.
Yeah, close that account today. And I'm afraid that your wife screwing around with this might have cost you $400 or $500 interest. We'll see when the smoke clears on this. Hopefully not.
And that goes for anybody, Dave. If your loan is a zero balance, do not go back into debt to possibly get this money.
Yeah.
It's too risky. There's not enough information going on with that. And we can listen to a call like this and see he didn't even request the $48,000. They just opened up the whole amount of the loan back.
Yep.
It's very sinister. It's very nefarious what these folks are doing, and I don't like it. And if I'm y'all, I'm not getting involved in it. You're debt free, be debt free.
Walk away. Walk away.
Walk away.
Yeah. So you're going to have to treat this like you have a $48,000 loan balance, because you do, and you have a $48,000 check in your hand, because you do. So my guess is you're going to make a deposit of that. You're going to write a check and close the loan out again. And whatever period of time this gyration's been going on, you're probably going to have some interest due. Yeah. And you might even have a late charge because you haven't been paying your payments properly.
Yeah. Guys, don't let the lure of free money lead somebody who's otherwise smart into doing something stupid. Do not fall for that.
Wow.
Don't fall for it.
Let's kind of back up about 2 steps. Here's what exactly happened technically. Okay. There is no student loan forgiveness program as of this date.
Facts.
Period. There is not a loan the Biden student loan forgiveness program is under several lawsuits going before the Supreme Court on February the 28th. The hearings begin. Mm-hmm. They may go on for months or years, but they begin to decide if Biden's student loan forgiveness program is going to go forward. Today, it does not exist. Okay? So you do not need to apply for something today that does not exist.
This is just a
because
carrot.
What his wife did was she said, "My grandmother, what big eyes you have."
That's right.
Thank you, Little Hood Red and Hide. Oh, my God.
This is a carrot that started as a bright orange, shiny carrot dangling in front of our eyes. But trust me, by the time this goes through the Supreme Court and months and maybe years of litigation, it's going to be an old, rotten carrot that's driven a lot of us into making bad decisions.
Well, what his wife did, and bless her heart, she was trying to do something smart. She was trying to get money back from a loan she'd already paid off that she may qualify for if this does go through, when it does go through. But they don't have a mechanism, the government nor the student loan provider does not have a mechanism to do student loan forgiveness because it does not exist today.
Yeah.
Okay? The court has not cleared it. There is not a program there. It doesn't exist. And so what they did was they said, "Oh, you really didn't mean to pay off your student loans. You'd like to keep them there in case forgiveness comes through. So we're going to give you your money back that you paid off the loan and put the loan back on the books. So when and if forgiveness comes along, we'll be able to give you the forgiveness of $20,000 against the $48,000."
Right.
That's what they did.
And if people aren't careful, that money's going to be sitting there, and whenever interest starts back, people who aren't watchful.
Oh, that's a good point. There won't be any interest on that.
There won't be, but what is it, March?
I told him there might be interest charged on this. There's not going to be interest.
Well, if he lets it sit. If you let that money sit until forgiveness takes place.
Yeah, but I did tell him there might be interest due now, and I was wrong.
Not yet.
That was a miss.
But I still want him to take that check and
there
get
could
rid
be a
of that
late
today.
charge. There could be a late charge for not paying payments.
Oh, yeah. Well,
no, payments aren't due
Payments
either.
are paused too.
Payments
but
are paused too.
The point is, if you're not careful, if you take your eye off the ball in this situation, that money will be sitting in your account. You will have forgotten about it, right? Because it's just sitting there, and you've got this check that you're kind of holding on as well, waiting, and you're trusting yourself to not spend that $48,000 during Christmas time, during inflation, during the start of a new year. That is a very precarious situation to put yourself in.
We really, it's been a hard year. We really need a vacation.
Oh, man. And my cousin's wedding is coming up in the Caribbean.
And we got to get a car. You know, that car's
we have to get a car.
You know, we do. And you know.
We need it. We need a new van for those twins.
There's no question. Yeah. That's the kind of crap that's going to happen all over America. It's already happening.
Yep.
Because they do not have a mechanism to process your student loan forgiveness check because there is not a policy in place to do it today that is approved. It's in the courts.
And those servicers can't wait to issue your fake refund.
Back in debt. They just got you. They made you a loan.
Yep, they couldn't wait to do it.
Wow.
And they call it, Dave, a refund. That's what I hate. They're calling it. They're putting positive vocabulary around it, so it feels like we're getting some sort of prize, but there's no prize to be gotten yet.
Well, it's a prize, but it's not one of the trophies you want.
It's your I got back into debt prize.
Oh, Justin, I'm sorry. What a mess for you, honey.
Yeah. We're not making fun of you, Justin.
No,
we're trying
nor your wife.
We're trying to tell these folks out here not to do it.
Everything under the heading student loan, if you just say that first, everything second says sucks. This is the Ramsey Show. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Christine is in Chicago. Hi, Christine. How are you?
I'm well. How are you? Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I'm currently a resident physician, and I'll be graduating in 6 months. I recently signed my contract and received a signing bonus of about $43,000 after taxes. I currently have about $70,000 in total credit card debt and personal loan debt. And I'm looking for the best way to use my signing bonus, current income, and future income to kind of get out of debt.
That's great. What's your income going to be once you start working?
$375,000.
Ooh, girl. I love to hear it. That's great. Well, you know.
What is it now as a resident?
70.
When do you start?
September.
Good for you. Congratulations. You've worked a long time, and you've worked really hard to get here. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You know, if I'm you, I'm going to work through this. I'm going to work the baby steps through this because I want you to be able to enjoy that income, and I want you to, you know, be able to live that life that you've worked for as quickly as possible. Have you started working the baby steps thus far?
I have not.
Okay, so let's walk through that real quick. So the way we teach this is going to be the best, most effective way to manage your money and ultimately get to the fact to where you're hopefully a millionaire and you're living like no one else and being generous. So this is the path to get there. The first thing we want to do is we want to make sure you get $1,000 saved. So I know that you have that $43K of bonuses. Do you have any other money laying around?
No, that's it.
That's it. Okay, so we're going to take $1K. We're going to set it aside. That is your starter emergency fund. It's not meant to be the be-all, end-all. This is just temporary, right? So that's thing one. Baby step 2 is you're paying off all of your debt except your mortgage. So in this case, we've already put $1,000 aside for the emergency fund. You've got $42K left. Am I right?
Correct.
So if I'm you, I'm going to go ahead and put that money towards my debt snowball. Now, as it stands right now with your current salary, you're paying your bills, everything's happening, everything's rolling, right? You should have, you know, even more money to put towards your debt snowball. So what I want you to do as part of baby step 2 is I want you to get on a budget. Have you been using a budget thus far, or is that kind of a new concept for you?
No, I have a budget. It fails at times, or I guess I fail the budget.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad you said that next part because the budget, I mean, you make it, right? It's your plan that you're putting together, and that plan needs to be on purpose and on par with what your life demands. So if the budget is failing, it's because we're not being detailed, we're not being realistic, we're not being flexible within our budget. So I want you to make sure that you are planning for every single dollar, and at the end of the day, it's you who's got to decide, I'm going to stick to this budget and I'm going to do what I've said I'm going to do.
Here's the really cool thing. You should be 100% debt-free before Halloween.
I know, that's right.
Okay. And because you said you start in September, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, but between now and then you make $70,000 a year, and we're going to put $42,000 towards 70, leaving 30.
Mm-hmm.
So your debts, when you list them smallest to largest, what is your largest debt?
The largest one is a $12,000 credit card.
Okay, so you can pay everything but that. No. What's the next largest one?
The next largest one is a $6,000 credit card.
So you've got a bunch of ankle biters.
Ones.
I do.
Okay.
Excuse me.
So you've got a list of things that's probably 20 long, and you're going to get rid of the majority of that list with this signing bonus in one fell swoop. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to feel really good.
And the good news about those little ankle biters is you're going to be able to feel wins very regularly, right? Because you're going to knock out those first several with this chunk of money. And then, every couple of weeks, I want to see you paying something off. Every couple of months, you're paying off these little $8,000 and $1,000 things and $2,000 things. You're going to be feeling those wins.
How long has it been since you've used a credit card for a purchase? This week?
This last Saturday.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay.
There you go, Dave.
There's where your budget's going. Because you got a pocket full of credit cards. You're used to using these things. So here's your painful experience. When you get off the phone, you're not studying to be a surgeon by chance, are you?
I am.
Here's your time to practice.
I want you to have plastic surgery when you get off the phone. I want you to chop up every one of those credit cards into little bitty pieces, and then every time you pay off one, I want you to close the account and never reopen it. Make sure your bank, you get on the phone with your bank today and get a debit card if you don't have one on your checking account. And anytime you get ready to purchase something from this point forward, use a debit card. You got Amazon Prime?
I sure do.
Jump on there and change out for your debit card. Mm-hmm. Take the credit card off of it.
Okay.
Are you going to do it, Christine?
I am.
Okay.
That's going to help you do the budget. It is, because what's happening is it's too easy for you to fall off the wagon.
Yeah, because you got fake money laying around. You got extra.
Make it hard.
Quote, extra fake money.
Yeah, make it hard to spend money you don't mean to spend. If you're going to spend money on purpose, that's fine. We've got Amazon Prime at the Ramsey house, and it's just got a debit card attached to it. But I know when I click that button, or Sharon knows when she clicks that button, that real money just left a real account. It's not fake money, and that credit card money is fake money. It'll catch up on you. It's not emotional. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have an emotional experience that's positive in a whole bunch of ways. You're going to feel this weird transformational thing when you chop up all your credit cards, get the debit card on Amazon Prime, get the debit card on anything where you used to have a credit card, get out of the credit card business, and you're going to take this check and clear through more than half of your list.
Yeah.
All these little $100, $200, $500 things are just going to go out there like a hot knife through butter. You're going to knock off a whole bunch of them, and then you're still going to be staring at a pretty decent list, but every time you get a check in, now you're more under control with your spending, and you're going to be able to attack it. This is so cool, Christine. I'm so proud of you.
It's great. I got to highlight the fact this is going to feel countercultural to what you think security is. Because you thought...
Counterintuitive.
Thank you. Counterintuitive. You thought security was having credit cards as something to fall back on. You thought security was maybe I can have this signing bonus. I'll just hold on to it. It's a nice little cushion, even if I have debt. And we're telling you to do things that are opposite of what...
Security comes from you taking control.
That's right.
You telling your money what to do instead of wondering where it went.
That's right.
You're going to get a sense of power like you've had. You remember when the power, Christine, when you started working through the syllabus to get to be an MD?
Yeah.
And you started, I knocked that class out. I knocked that class out. I'm that much closer. I'm that much closer. I'm that much closer. I'm running a half marathon. I'm at mile 9.
That's right.
I've got 4.5 to go. Here I go. And 4.3 to go. Right. Yep. So there we go. I mean, that kind of stuff. So you're clicking off the miles. You're clicking off the traction, and you've never done that with money. And so you're going to get this positive feeling, but it is also, it's a transformational thing, so it's going to be uncomfortable for the first 90 days that you live in this.
Yeah, she's proving the concept. And
exactly.
That's so I just wanted her to be emotionally prepared for that. But she's doing right. She's doing it right. She's doing it right.
Do so good. Because, the thing is, the weird thing, folks, is y'all think that these doctors that make a lot of money are rich. Most of them are broke. I mean, MDs are as bad as pro athletes. they're just horrible with money. I mean, there's some pro athletes that do a good job with money, and there's some MDs that do a good job with money.
Yeah.
But stereotypically, we always think of the doctor and the lawyer or the rich people in town, especially old people like me.
That's right.
It used to be in the 50s, the people sitting on the Chamber of Commerce were the rich ones, right? And that's just the doctor, the lawyer, the college professor. And these were the wealthy people in the town, the little town. And the weird thing is these doctors, a lot of them do very well on their income side.
That's right.
But they've piled themselves up with debt. Christine's not that bad. She's only got $70,000.
But your income is not your net worth.
Exactly.
Your income, you can make hundreds of, several $100,000 a year.
You can make millions of dollars and be broke. We hear it all the time.
We've done the studies on millionaires, and we see it's teachers, engineers, and these people, they're not making hundreds of thousands a year. They're not making $300,000, $400,000 a year.
Now, that's interesting. 33% of the millionaires in the study never made over $100K. 1/3, 1 out of 3.
Something to think about.
This is The Ramsey Show. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Paul is with us in Cincinnati, Ohio. Merry Christmas, Paul.
Merry Christmas, Dave and Jade. How are you?
Great. How can we help?
All right. So I'll jump right into the question. Right now, I have a $25,000 whole life policy, and I'm in baby step 2. I'm wondering if I should cancel the policy and get the cash value out of it to apply to my debt snowball. But the kicker is that I am not insurable for term life insurance.
You're not insurable for any life insurance if you're not insurable for term. What's wrong with you?
So in the past couple of years, I've lost about 200 pounds, but I'm still a little bit above the weight limit for this life insurance. The $25,000 policy that I have right now, I was able to get when I started my last job, and there was no medical exam required.
Yeah, you got that. You're paying through the nose for that, for sure. So what do you weigh now?
Right now, I'm about 350.
Okay. Have you talked to Xander?
I tried to talk to him, and they said the only thing they could do was a policy I couldn't afford. I mean, way up there, and it wasn't for anything that would cover what I needed.
Okay. So, yeah, you're not insurable then is what it amounts to. They were able to make a market, but your weight loss, and you're still not down to the combination. Extreme weight loss is a negative, believe it or not. Shouldn't be, but it is a negative, and still being at 350 is a negative. So that's where you're not, but you can't get whole life insurance either.
No, I can't add anything to what I got.
Yeah,
now, what I have is enough to cover burial, pay off the one last debt before my federal student loans and our debt snowball.
Yeah, what do you make?
Right now, I make about $50,000 a year. Our family, like our household income, is around $115,000.
Okay, all right. Well, you're doing well with your income. Congratulations, by the way, on the weight loss. How'd you do that?
Thank you. Combination of surgery as well as lots of exercise and diet over the past few years since the surgery.
Okay. Yeah, eat less, exercise more. Go figure. Who knew?
That's exactly it.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I'm proud of you. That's pretty amazing. I mean, you've changed your whole life already. I'm going to tell you to just continue the journey and get back down to a more normal height-weight ratio, and it may take a year or even 2 after that before you're going to qualify.
Yep. They told me I could get it if I had sustained weight loss below their weight limit, but I'm still not quite there. But I'm still working. So.
But sustained would be like a year to 2 is what I'm saying. Yeah, that's about right.
Exactly.
That's what I figured. That's a fair thing. And so it gives you yet another reason for the target. And not to mention the fact that you feel better, not to mention the fact you feel better about yourself emotionally. Way to go, man. I'm so proud of you. That's a very difficult journey.
Very. And the good news
I got
is
an elephant off my knees.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, for real. A small one, literally. Yeah, for real, man. Way to go. Well, Merry Christmas, Paul. I wish I had a better answer for you. I'd keep that whole life policy in place until you get past this final stage of regaining your health. Congratulations. Very well done. Hey, guys, that's it. We talk about life insurance around here all the time, and we throw it around, always get 15 to 20 year level term, 10 to 12 times your income. Here's the thing. There are 2 things you can do, and Paul's an extreme example, but there are 2 things you can do that dramatically affect the pricing of your life insurance that are under your control. If you smoke, it's double.
That's right.
Just like that. Okay? Period. And, they pretty well, in our culture today now, smoking's not cool. It's not like the 1950s, right?
Yeah.
So,
and there's lots of ways to get out there and quit.
Yeah, it's a decision. It is a tough thing to kick the habit.
Oh yeah.
I've never smoked, but I understand it's very hard to get away from the nicotine. So, but it's worth it because if nothing else, you save half. On your life insurance. That's pretty incredible. Not to mention all the health benefits, not to mention when you kiss your spouse, you don't taste like an ashtray. So there's all that stuff.
It's an expensive habit in many ways.
Yeah. So your clothes stink, everything. So the second thing is obesity.
Yep.
Being overweight.
Yeah.
And these are things we control. As I've told you all here on the air many times, during COVID, I was a lot of high stress working here. I gained a whole bunch of weight, and I got just straight up fat, eating every donut in the dadgum 50-mile radius. That was a decision.
Yeah.
And then to not do that is a decision. And so I still qualify at 62 years old for premium pricing on life insurance. Because my heart rate, my weight ratio, all the the lifestyle choices, all of those things. If I want life insurance, I don't want it. I don't need it today. But these are things you can set yourself up for. Now, there's things you can't control, but other health issues. You have a heart problem, you have a cancer problem. Those are things you can't control on your life insurance. But more people overpay for life insurance on obesity or smoking than all other factors put together.
Right. Oh yeah, I believe it. The good news is if you like that last call, he has walked the journey. He's proven that he has the discipline and he's got the systems in place to lose that weight. And, I think a lot of those same mechanisms apply for money. I think, and my guess is probably when you put on, I'm not going to say how many pounds it was.
That was a lot.
With those donuts, you already had the mechanisms in your brain that you could just pull from and go, hey, I know how to be disciplined.
Well, just like I told him, it's not, you eat less and you exercise more. So no more donuts, fat boy. I mean, it's a hard, it's a pretty straight up thing. This is what you do.
Simple can be hard though, Dave.
Yeah.
It's a simple method, but it takes effort and can be difficult to put that into place.
So you got the first of the year coming up here. Mm-hmm. And you know what the 3 largest New Year's resolutions are? Get out of debt, lose weight, quit smoking.
Yeah, gotta be.
And they actually run together is my point.
They do.
And Jade's point is that they all have to do with this thing called self-control.
Self-control.
It's a fruit of the Spirit.
It is.
Self-control.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a reservoir that you can pull from. When you've had self-control in one area, you can do it. And when you come to another area of life where you say, you know what, I need to enact that same mechanism and I need to have some self-control here, that you've done it before. It's a well that you can draw from.
Man, that guy's impressive. I'm so proud of him.
Is.
Sarah in Waco, go quick. What's your question?
I just have a couple questions. For one, we're starting your Financial Peace University in January 18th with our church.
Good.
And I was just wondering, I have stuff in collections, but I don't know how much. I know one is about $9,000 for a credit card for Wells Fargo, but there's a couple other things. And in the past, my sister used mine and my mom's Social Security number and everything.
Well,
And
that's
my
called
husband
identity
and I-
theft. That means your sister's a criminal.
Yeah, but they didn't do anything about it.
I know, but you don't owe the money.
Oh, okay.
You have to get
Then,
identity theft and file a victim's report on those debts. Now, the ones that are in collections that you haven't paid, I would set those aside until you get the debts paid off that you are current on. If you're making payments like on your car, let's get that paid off. You got a credit card you're making payments on, let's get that paid off in Financial Peace University before you go clean up the old bad debt. So you're going to kind of run two debt snowballs. First, your active real ones, and then secondly, your old ones.
I like it. Sounds like a plan to succeed.
Yeah, and you're going to have to fill out a police report on the fact that your identity was stolen. The sad thing is, you know the criminal.
Yeah, your family did you wrong. I'm sorry that happened.
It's amazing the amount of identity theft that occurs because someone feels like they have the right because they happen to be blood.
Yeah. Yep. We see it all the time.
Yeah. But that makes you the lowest kind of scum if that's you doing that, by the way. So, and it's also why we make sure you put Zander Insurance's identity theft protection in place. That puts this hour of The Ramsey Show in the books. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. We help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Merry Christmas, America. Open phones at 888-825-5225. We're so glad you're with us. Julie's in Akron, Ohio. Hi, Julie. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hi. Merry Christmas to you all. I'm so excited to be on the show.
We're honored to have you. How can we help?
Thank you. Okay, so I'm in the middle of, my husband and I, baby steps 4, 5, and 6. We just paid off all of our debt, his college loans and things like that. And what we have now is a $350 or $50,000 left on our home.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have 2 kids going to college, and one is going in the next year and a half, and the other one is going in 3 years. So with the money that we have at the end of the month, should I just put everything into the college funds? Right now, they each have $50,000.
Yes.
So I have a total of 100. Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm gonna load up college. It's bearing down on you. It's right in front of you. So I'm just going to load that up. It doesn't necessarily have to be in a 529 at this stage. You're not going to gain much interest or much growth that's tax free because you're right there.
Okay.
And I want to start really researching the cost of the schools that we're talking about and what it's going to take to get them through that, and then lean into that and try to get that number going.
Okay.
Now, how much have you already got saved for college?
So I have $50,000 each for each, so $100,000 for both right now.
That's
and
a
then
good start.
I also have. Okay, and then I have $150,000 in our emergency fund, and I know that is high.
Yeah.
But,
Why do you have it like that? Why did you do that?
I don't know.
We can change that.
It's just been sitting there, and I don't know if I should take 50,000 and put it.
Yes.
Let's change that. You need 3 to 6 months.
You should take 100,000 and put it in mutual funds. Mm-hmm. Get it earning some money.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's just sitting there.
Okay.
And
so now you've got 100,000 per kid for college.
Right.
Now you really need to start sitting down and going, where are they going to go to school?
Okay. Which I'm pretty sure my son is going local, so I think 50,000 will cover him. Mm-hmm. But as far as my daughter, I'm not sure. She's the one that's 3 years away. But you never know.
Well, it doesn't happen to you. You happen to it. So what we're doing now is we're going to start telling her where she's going to school.
Yeah, getting real numbers.
Okay.
And not waiting for her to discover it. So we're going to start talking about this is the money that we have, and these are the types of places you can go with the money we're going to have. Now, if your son goes local, are you saying community college, or there's a 4-year school in the area and he would live at home, or what?
Yes, there's a 4-year university close. There's a couple, and he wants to live at home. I think we want him to go away to get the college experience, but I think he's more comfortable. This is what he's telling us now.
That's fine. So go to that college, and let's talk about what the actual tuition is. It's probably $8,000 or $10,000, and so 4 years of that, you probably do have that covered. And so we may be, once we now let's start doing the same thing with daughter, even though she's a little bit away. Okay, what are you thinking about studying? Where can you study that? Would you go to, Ohio State University? Where are you going to go? You're going to go over to Columbus? What are you going to do? Let's start looking at what that actually costs. You may have enough to do both of them if he's going to stay home.
Okay.
Well, she probably does. I mean, she's got $50K per kid already.
She got $100K per kid.
Well, I was going to say, and then she's got the 100,000.
Yes. Okay, you're right.
50,000 is the emergency fund. Okay, if 50 covers your son, now your daughter has 150.
Well, she did,
and you're done, and you need to start paying down your house.
Julie, did you say that you already had 50 for both kids plus the 100 that we're pulling from your?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and if 50 covers her son, then she's got 150 for the daughter. You probably got your daughter covered.
Oh yeah, you're doing good.
That's why I want you to dial it in, because I think you can stop baby step 5 now that we've reallocated this if you do a little bit of research and become comfortable with the facts, and your daughter doesn't think she's going to Harvard, because she's not.
No. No.
So Dave, I have a question. Would you set the budget and say the budget is $80,000?
I can say.
Would you look for schools and say you have this range?
Within reason. I mean, I'm fine with this in-state tuition, in-state university. So she's in Akron, Ohio. Ohio State University is an example, which, by the way, is not a cheap in-state school, but a little bit pricey. But it's a good school, and so academically, and you can go, and they're playing football apparently too. So so anyway, you can do all that, and you can. Look at college experience. College experience is way down on my list of things to do. But but I don't. You're probably looking at. I have to look it up, but I'm going to guess and say 12 to 15,000 for Ohio State, plus dorm, plus books, plus food, and so you're probably over 100, pretty easily.
Yeah.
For a 4-year by the time she gets there, if she's going to do a traditional 4-year plan. And so we got to start mapping that out. But the thing about goals is, if you'll get detailed on your goals, get detailed on your sons, and it's not, I think this is what he's going to do. We're going to talk it through. Okay, now this is the money I'm setting aside based on this discussion. So this is what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And then the same thing with the daughter. We're going to within this. We're going to use Ohio State as a template, and if you don't want to go there, you're going to go to somewhere that is priced at that or less, because we're going to lock that down, and then every other dollar above that, I'm going to start dumping on that mortgage and getting rid of it.
I know that's right.
And so you're going to be in a good shape there, yeah. So the good news is you cheated on the emergency fund, but it allows you to probably finish up baby step 5 with a little bit of research and detail. Here's the weird thing. The ambivalent, the unknown, creates 10x the stress that the known does, even if the known is tough. If I know I've got an uphill climb to get there, but I know the details of that climb, it is less stressful than, oh, it might be hard and it's just a climb. I don't know what it is. So when you detail out this tuition, books, dorm, this is the plan.
Yeah. And
even if it's more money than you got, at least you know the size of the dragon.
Right. And your mind can rest a little bit. In the unknown, that's where the fear is, and that's when you start spinning your wheels constantly.
Yeah, the unknown just burns many, many more calories.
Mental calories.
This is The Ramsey Show. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. We're so glad you are with us. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Use the promo code Ramsey to get the best possible deal.
Today's question comes from Brooke in Texas. We are newly married and just completed baby step 1. I just graduated from college and do not have a job, but start my new job next month making $16 an hour full time. My husband is currently in the military and is getting released, but we don't know when he is getting honorably discharged. My question to you is this: should we start working on baby step 2, or should we work on saving our 3 to 6 month emergency fund? All right, Brooke, here's what I'm thinking. So we know that we have a possible, I'm not going to call it a job loss, but a job shift coming up. And what I don't want you guys to do is wait until I don't want you to wait until he's discharged and then have him looking for a job. I want you guys to start putting out feelers now so that we can start to kind of close that gap. And the way I would approach this is I would start stacking up money as though you were going to put it onto your debt snowball, but I would kind of set it aside. And once this smoke clears of these job transitions, then I want you putting that money onto baby step 2. I don't want you to keep it there. I don't want you to do the baby steps out of order. It's not going to be your 3 to 6 months emergency fund. It's just going to be money stacked up in case you do have that job loss. And then I want you to put it to baby step 2 when the smoke clears. What do you think, Dave?
That's fine. Traditionally, Brooke, we see too often folks transitioning out of the military wait until they're out of the military to start their job look. That's a mistake. You need to go ahead and very carefully target. He needs to go ahead and very carefully target what his next season of life looks like, what his next career is going to be. Get in the Ken Coleman materials. Take the Get Clear assessment on Ken's stuff. Get the Proximity Principle book, Paycheck to Purpose book. Start looking at the resume templates and all that. And then go ahead and start looking for and landing the new job. It's not unusual at all. He has a pretty good idea when he's going to be cut loose. I mean, within a month or two.
Yeah.
And so, and as you get closer and closer, it's going to get dialed in more and more and more, and you can dial in the job. It may be you're just practicing a little bit early, but go ahead and practice. Go ahead and go out there and do the interviews, get the job, talk about, I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to be released, but when I am released, this is where I want to be. And if they need you to start this week, well, you can't start this week. I'm not eligible for that position, but he needs to go get the next job lined up. And I'm a little confused how you graduate from college and you make $16.
I'm wondering the same thing.
You can make $18 stocking shelves at Target.
Yeah.
What in the world?
She needs to get her income up. Yeah. You're a step away from Wendy's right there. And I think that
I think you're a step behind Wendy's.
Yeah.
You're a step away, but it's behind. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't know what. Yeah. I'm not sure what your degree's in or what your career field is, but you've got some work to do on your income as
Absolutely.
well. But Jade is right. Temporarily, we're in the middle of a bunch of transition, a bunch of storms. Let's just pile up cash, a big old pile, like you were paying aggressively on debt.
That's right.
Aggressively pile the cash, and then the day that he lands the new position, or the day that the uncertainty around all of this goes away. Then you take that money, you throw it at your debt snowball down to $1,000, and you start working your baby steps straight up. You're exactly right.
That's right.
Exactly how I would approach this. All right, Sam is in Dayton, Ohio. Hi, Sam. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Sure. What's up?
I have a question about using an HSA for investment versus medical costs.
Mm-hmm.
So I recently had a hand injury, and I met my deductible and whatnot, and I was wondering if I should pay myself back for those expenses from the HSA that I've been building, or just continue to rebuild my emergency fund with the income that I have.
How much money is
in the next
involved?
Couple months. $5,000.
What's your income?
About $90,000.
You have any debt?
No, other than my house.
Good. Way to go. Is this over, or is this going to be ongoing medical?
It's over.
Okay. And you've already cash flowed it.
Yeah, to this point, it would be replenishing my emergency fund with.
You'd be reimbursing yourself from the HSA to replenish your 3 to 6 months?
You know, I'm going to go ahead and just put the money into the, just leave it. I'm going to recoup in cash flow. I'm going to leave it in the HSA. You don't have to have it. The beauty of the HSA is two things. One, a large lump sum you cannot cash flow, and it allows you to cover it, obviously, the health savings account. And the second thing is it's tax-free. So if you've got a chronic situation, like I've got a friend that's got Crohn's, and so he's got chronic. He's got bills and bills and bills. He's always got bills going. Mm-hmm. And so basically he gets all of his health care tax-free because he pays all the bills out of the HSA, which is a tax-free account, tax-deductible account. And so where you've got a chronic situation, that's why I ask if this is ongoing, then it makes a lot of sense, or if it's super large. Now, the opposite way of looking at that is what I have done with my HSA is I've never touched it.
Yeah.
And I think I may have $400,000 in there now. I've loaded it every year.
Yeah.
It's like another retirement account.
That's right.
And I just put it in mutual funds. And so, but we've been inordinately healthy at the Ramsey house, knock on wood. Yeah. And so we haven't had any big events. And the events that we did have, small to medium or whatever they were, we just wrote a check for them. And so we've just treated it as an investment account for that reason.
So we know that for the people listening, you wouldn't invest your money, that the money that's sitting in your HSA, you wouldn't actually invest it, obviously, until you're in baby step 4. But Dave, at what amount, let's say you're in baby step 4, at what amount in your HSA would you then start investing it into the funds they have there?
In the mutual funds?
Yeah.
When you know you're going to be leaving it alone. When you're in a strong enough financial condition, you're going to be leaving it alone. And so for most people, that's probably they've got an extra $20,000 in there or something like that. And like we've got a company called Health Equity that we've endorsed and that we use here inside of our company. And they allow us to take the HSA and put it into mutual funds of our choice. And so 100% of mine, because I just don't need it. And so I'm using it as yet another way to keep the taxes off of that small amount of money every year.
And once you hit a certain age, you can access that as though it were a normal retirement.
Exactly.
It no longer has to be used for actual health purchases. So that's a great thing about it. It's a wonderful vehicle. Love that.
Exactly. James is in Huntsville. Hi, James. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, thank you for taking my call.
Sure. How can we help?
Hey, so I'm 23, and I have actually purchased a house at the beginning of this year. My issue now is I am at risk of a foreclosure on my house. Just kind of needed some guidance. I'm kind of new to your plan and seeing what maybe I can do to help myself out.
How many payments behind are you?
I am 4 payments behind.
Okay. What kind of loan? FHA, VA, or conventional?
It is a FHA.
Okay. Why are you behind?
So I work in healthcare, and I've actually had COVID 3 times within the last 6 months, as well as some family things that kind of got me behind on work. I work 24-hour shifts, so if I miss one shift, I miss almost half of my check.
Okay. COVID 3 times is 12 or 14 days, 15 days.
Correct.
That does not put you 4 house payments behind.
There's another problem at work here.
Yeah, the family stuff is much bigger than the COVID stuff.
Okay.
Is that right?
There were several days that I missed due to lost family members and things such as that, yes.
Yeah. All right, I'll tell you what, we're going into a commercial break. I don't want to give you a short answer on your home being foreclosed on, sir. It's too important. We'll help you when we come back. You hang on with us, okay? This is The Ramsey Show. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. We're talking with James in Huntsville. He's 23. He's 4 payments behind on an FHA loan, trying to figure out what to do with foreclosure bearing down on him. That's due to he's in healthcare, having had COVID a couple, 3 times, and having had some family issues, some losses in the family that have cost him some work hours as well, and so forth. That's about how far we got into the call. Is that a fair summary of what you told me so far, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How much your house payment?
My house payment is $1,052 a month.
Okay. How many bedrooms?
It is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. How
many roommates?
I have no roommates.
Okay.
I did have one. So getting into that, if that's okay, I had some issues with the house that were not found in the inspection, and the roommates were not comfortable with those issues until I got those fixed.
What is that?
So the insulation in the attic causes several air leaks around, so the heating and cooling is an issue. There were some electrical issues with power surging, as well as
how old
the
is this house?
The house was built in 1985.
Ugh. Okay. All right, cool. Do you have any idea what the house is worth today? Have you talked to a real estate agent?
The house is worth around $195.
Who said?
I have wrote down. That was I did try to sell the house earlier in the year because I realized that I got into a situation, and that's what it was appraised at through their appraisers.
Okay. And what do you owe on it?
I owe $180.
Okay, cool. All right, good. So what I would do, number one, is I'd contact a real estate agent at RamseySolutions.com under ELP, our Ramsey Trusted Real Estate Agent. Talk to a couple of different ones. Tell them to get over there and get it listed this week so that it's on the market as soon as the first of the year hits. Okay, we want to get that part moving. And what do you make?
Yeah,
I make $48,500 a year.
What do you do?
I work in the emergency medical services.
You're an EMT?
That's correct.
James, how long have you had this house?
I've had this house since the beginning of the year.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So you're working, what kind of shifts as an EMT?
So right now our set shifts are 24 on, 72 off.
That's what I thought.
Trying to get in ahead of this and get it fixed, I'm working 24 on, 24 off, and then 24 back on.
Okay, so you're able to pick up extra hours, in other words.
Yes.
And that raises your 48 considerable.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So 24 on, 24 off?
Correct.
Okay. All right. But the 24 on is you're at the firehouse and you may or may not be awake. You may or may not. I mean, you have to be ready to make a call if the call comes in, but you can sleep, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, you're not up 24 hours, just for those of you listening. All right. So you're working like a fireman type, with the fireman type of a shift. Okay.
Is there any scenario where he can
when
get
you're
ahead of
off
these
work,
payments?
you can work. So when you're off work, go ahead and pick up some side stuff immediately, hustle and grind. And you've got the right antidote, which the antidote is work, and create as much money as you can create, as fast as you can create it, and start throwing it at this. Here's the thing. There's a couple things that give you some peace. Number one, with an FHA loan, there is zero chance they are going to foreclose before you are 6 to 7 payments behind. So if you don't do squat, which you're not going to do, but if you do nothing, you got 2 months.
That's great.
Okay, number one. Number two, if they do foreclose, HUD, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, does not chase a deficit on this. So if they take the house back and lose money, they do not come after you. Your credit will be messed up, but you don't have a deficit. They're not going to come after you. Okay?
Understood.
So these are like our worst case scenarios that are not going to happen.
Understood.
What's
So
going to
Dave,
happen is you're going to go make a bunch of money and you're going to get current.
Yes, definitely. So another question I have with this is is a quick sale something that I should look into?
A short sale?
A short sale.
You don't need a short sale because you've got a little bit of equity. Someone will pick this up for what's owed on it in this current market.
Okay.
Because you got a cheap house, and cheap houses are hard to come by.
Understood.
There's not a lot of $185,000 houses in Huntsville, Alabama. It's just that's a sweet price point. It should sell. It should sell with a good realtor. You may have to do some extra cleanup. You may have to do some odds and ends things, but you need to get this thing on the market and get it gone. It is not a blessing to you.
Right.
Correct. And that's what I realized after I got into the house and started looking at everything and started figuring out what needed to be done with the house.
Okay. The last thing is this. There's a process called a forbearance, and get with a Ramsey coach on our website, and they can help you work a forbearance. A forbearance is where they negotiate with the mortgage company, giving them good reason to believe that you can get caught up. And the good reason is your new budget based on all the work you are doing and the work you're getting ready to do that you're not even doing yet, all the income you're creating, because you're going to go create $70,000, $80,000 worth of income working 70, 80 hours a week right now. You're 23, you can do that. Now, what a forbearance is you're going to pay like a payment and a half for 8 months.
Okay.
And that'll bring you current. And that also stops a foreclosure as long as you get in the forbearance and you stick to it. So you can get with a Ramsey coach, set up a forbearance of a payment and a half, and nothing precludes you from prepaying that and stopping the forbearance early because you made enough money just to, quote, get current.
Understood.
But a payment and a half on 4 payments behind will get you there in 8 months. You see how I'm doing that?
Correct. I do.
So you're not going to get foreclosed on. We're going to put the house up for sale. We're going to put it on a forbearance, and you're going to work like a freaking maniac and create money like you've never created before in your life. No excuses, nothing else to do. You don't get to spend money on anything but food, lights, water, and house payments. That's it. You don't get to do nothing. Gas to get to work. That's all. You're just bare freaking bones. So hold on, James. I've been where you are. I've been scared like you are. I know how it feels. We're going to help you. I'll have Austin pick up, and we'll hook you up with one of our Ramsey coaches and help you with that forbearance part. You are going to get in touch with an ELP on the website, and you are going to pick up yet another side job in addition to your overtime.
That's good. That's a tough situation. But those things that you explained, those are good things to know about the 6 to 7 payments behind before they'll come after you. Again, it's making sure that you understand all the facts. It's not just a bunch of unknowns floating around in your head creating chaos. I feel like you gave him some real
It's probably fair to let folks know. I mean, I used to buy foreclosures for a living, and I've done this foreclosure forbearances with people for 30 years now and after that. So here's the thing. HUD, the FHA is the government, federal government, Federal Housing Administration, guarantees this loan for, we'll say, countrywide. Okay? So they have regulations on countrywide to keep Countrywide from just instantly foreclosing, because if they when they foreclose, FHA gets the house back and Countrywide gets all their money.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't want Countrywide just pulling the rug on everybody.
I see.
So they've got, in order for Countrywide, for their guarantee to get all their money, the federal guarantee, the FHA guarantee to get all their money, they have to abide by HUD's regulations on a foreclosure scenario, and they have to take certain steps. There's like, I don't know, there used to be 25 steps, 26 steps or whatever, and it takes 6 months for them to do that.
I see.
So the mortgage company would lose their FHA guarantee against loss on the loan if they don't follow those steps, and those steps take 6 months.
Yeah.
So it's not unusual to find an FHA that's 12 months behind before it's foreclosed on, but you never see one under 6 months, ever.
The more
I've been doing
you know.
this a long, long time. I've never seen one.
The more you know.
That's where that came from. So that is not to abuse the system, but that's to give you peace while you make the turnaround.
Right.
That's how this works. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Luke 2, 8-11. And there were shepherds living out in the fields nearby, keeping watch over their flocks at night. An angel of the Lord appeared to them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were terrified. But the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid. I bring you good news that will cause great joy for all the people. Today, in the town of David, a Savior has been born to you. He is the Messiah, the Lord." Billy Graham said the very purpose of Christ's coming into the world was that he might offer up his life as a sacrifice for the sins of men. He came to die. This is the heart of Christmas. God gave his only begotten Son. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you for being with us, America. Nathan is next. Nathan is in Minnesota. Hi, Nathan. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Hey, Jade. Welcome to the show. Merry Christmas to you guys.
Merry Christmas,
to you. What's up?
Yes, thank you. I had a couple questions regarding investing. I'm about to start baby step 4, and I'm wondering, first question, what your thoughts on REITs are. And then the second question is, I know you say not to invest in single stocks. However, have you ever done any research on investing in several stocks for a dividend portfolio with, at least 10% rates of return over 10 years?
Sure, just looking at drips. Yeah. The thing is, all of those things are fine. REITs and drips are fine for your portfolio once you hit baby step 7 and you're maxing out your retirement. But for your retirement accounts themselves, the most efficient growth and the best growth is going to be just straight up the 4 types of mutual funds we talk about. The math will show you that if you look at the track records. Growth and income, aggressive growth, and international. The REITs have really come on in the last, decade, maybe even 15 years, and they are a legitimate way to get some money in real estate now. You can find REITs with good track records that'll be as good as a growth stock mutual fund, up in the 10, 12, maybe even 13% range on a good long track record, well-run, long track record. So, you can find something you're comfortable with there for sure. And drips a little more difficult to pull off that portfolio management. Few people do it well. it's academically, theoretically possible. It's a pain in the butt to actually pull it off, and a lot of people talk about it more than they actually do it among the millionaires that I talk to. Okay, but REITs I'm fine with, but I wouldn't use a REIT in your 401k. I'll just fill up that with regular mutual funds like we're talking about. But after you get to baby step 7 and you've got some extra money to invest and you don't want to be a landlord, a REIT is okay. And if you want to do some drips, that's fine. If you want to do some single stocks, it's okay. I just tell people that people get all jacked up about the sexiness of buying and selling stocks. And the track record is that people don't make much money doing it. The average investor buying and selling on his own account makes about a 7% rate of return on single stocks, where the market is averaged 11 to 12. So, that's the reason I don't do it. But I tell folks, if you want to fool around with it, sometimes people enjoy it almost as a hobby. Yeah. A maximum of 10% of your net worth, and that's really at baby step 7 and beyond is what I would do there. So thanks for calling in, brother. Appreciate you. All right. Mark is in Santa Barbara. Hey, Mark. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Merry Christmas, by the way.
Merry Christmas.
My brother told me about your show, and it kind of lit a fire to my butt to become debt-free.
Good.
And so I think I might be on baby step 2, but I might have accidentally started baby step 3.
Did you pay off all your debt?
No, I've got $60,000 in student loans right now.
Okay.
But I've also got some investments, about a little over $100,000 in investments, and I'm wondering if I should
in retirement account or open investments.
Retirement account, company stock that the company's offered me.
How much company stock have you got in dollars?
$41,000.
Good. How much non-retirement money do you have other than that?
Non-retirement, other than that, there's $7,000 in an HSA and about $5,000 in just other things. Acorns.
All right. So you got $60,000 in debt, and we've got $46,000 to throw at it. Good. That reduces it a lot. What's your income?
It's it'll be $152,000 come next year. It's certainly more than I deserve.
I just want to check, Mark, did you hear what Dave's telling you to do right there? He's telling you to liquidate that company stock and put it onto your debt. Yeah?
I didn't quite catch that. Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're telling you to do. We don't want to touch the retirement accounts, but the company stock where you said you had about $41K there, and then you said you had some other money. We want you to liquidate that. We want you to sell it off, because that company stock, it's in one company. If anything happens to that company, you're going to lose that money. So that's not typically the way that we would tell you. That's never the way we would tell you to invest. So you can go ahead and liquidate that. You can throw it towards your debt, and if you're still currently investing, we would tell you to actually pause your investing for the time being and take that money and add it to your baby step 2 part of your debt snowball. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it kind of blows my mind, because I was ready to start hustling. And
I know you were. I know you were.
And go ahead and start hustling too. Yeah, do that too. Yeah, go ahead and make some. Here's the thing. What we've discovered is that the reason people don't win with money is they try to do 7 things at once and they get none of them done, which is what you've been doing. You're buying single stocks, you're putting money in your mutual funds, you're working on your debt, and you're thinking about taking an extra job, and nothing's moving. Instead, I just punched this thing in the face a minute ago. I mean, the boxer is laid out on the mat. I just knocked him down. And you're going to go over the next time he gets up and you're going to finish him off. Total freaking focus on one goal at a time. First goal, no debt but your house. We're getting rid of that $60,000. Second goal, an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. Now we're ready to invest, because you don't have any payments in the world. You make $150,000. You're a stud, man. You're ready to go now.
Heck yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
The good news is you're on fire about your situation. You're on fire about doing the best that you possibly can with your money. We're just trying to make sure that you do it in the smartest, most effective way.
Hey, man, I'm going to send you a copy of this little quick read we just did called The Momentum Theorem. Focused intensity over time multiplied by God creates unstoppable momentum. And that's exactly what we're talking about here. I'll also send you a copy of the book, The Total Money Makeover, to show you how to work this plan. Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for calling in. So, Jay, that's the difference in the Ramsey way is that we have figured out the math doesn't work when you only do math.
Well, yeah, we know that money is not just about math. And in a lot of ways, it's more about your mind.
It's behavior.
Behavior.
Yeah, it's your behavior, your character, your relationships, your focus or your lack of it. And it's amazing that when people start, the number of times, for instance, that someone does a debt-free scream and their income has gone up dramatically during the 2 or 3 or 4 years they've been getting out of debt, it's because they now had a reason for it too.
That's true.
So they've got all of these things in their life that were just kind of running out there on mediocrity. All of a sudden, they're striving for excellence to cause that one thing to happen, and it's all pointed at that one thing. But that rising tide raises every part of their life. Their relationships get better.
Yep.
Their career accelerates. Their income accelerates. And as they're trying to hit this one singular focused goal of clearing the debt, and then later on, we take that same exact power and point it at wealth building. And that's why we end up with all these baby steps millionaires.
Focused intensity over time.
That's it. Multiplied by God equals unstoppable momentum. The momentum theorem. That's that little book I was just talking about. Puts this hour in the books. Way to go. Austin, Ben, James, Zach, and Andrew. Merry Christmas, booth dudes. You guys do a great job. Zach, well, great job in there, man. Be careful on the road. Absolutely. Hey, we'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today.